Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into North Dakota today. AARP North Dakota is on our program regularly, telling you how to protect against frauds and alerting viewers to new scams. Their ongoing fight against fraud saw great strides in North Dakota this past legislative session when the state established a fraud restitution fund for victims of investment fraud. Here to tell us more about this fund and whether you qualify for fraud restitution is AARP North Dakota State Director Josh. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Sophia. It's good to be here.
Of course. Thank you so much. So tell us more about this fund and what it means to all of us.
Well, as you noted, AARP North Dakota has had a strong focus on fighting fraud and helping those over the age of 50 protect their hard-earned money. And so that's why we went to bat for them during the 2023 North Dakota legislative session. AARP North Dakota worked to build upon existing statutes to protect vulnerable adults. And one of the things we did was included the creation of a restitution assistance fund to pay back victims of investment fraud after successful prosecution of the eligible crimes. So what happened was Senate Bill 2325 was introduced, and it was done to combat fraud and other financial crimes, specifically investment fraud. And crimes of this nature create real financial devastation. Billions of dollars are lost each year, especially for our older adults. And thankfully, legislators in your viewing area, like Senators Judy Lee, Senator Barta, Senator Roars, as well as Representatives Belts, Boucher, and Schreiber-Beck, led the charge to pass a bill, and a law went into effect on July 1st, 2023. It's a new restitution fund that is housed in the North Dakota Securities Department, and Commissioner Karen Tyler and her team were also tremendous partners in getting this fund stood up.
Yes, well, that is good to know. How does this really work?
Well, the Fraud Restitution Fund is a tool to help eligible North Dakotans that are impacted by certain types of scams potentially receive some compensation. So the first thing and most important thing in any instance is to report a suspected investment fraud to the North Dakota Securities Department. That's the first step that really triggers anything else. That fund then could be tapped in instances where a final order has been issued by the Securities Commissioner and there's not money available to compensate the victim. So it's really about making sure you report the crime so that the Securities Department can investigate, go after the bad actor, and then if the bad actor is found to be liable and they don't have funds to repay you, they can tap this fund to help repay folks.
Absolutely. And just how much compensation is available to a victim?
The legislature designated $1 million to go towards the fund. It's capped at $50,000 or half of what the victim lost, whichever is less, as part of it. But this is a pool of money that we think will provide countless North Dakota victims of investment fraud assistance moving forward.
Yes, this definitely is a great resource. What else should our viewers know about the Fraud Restitution Fund?
I think it's really important to emphasize this is a great first step, but the law only applies to investment fraud, and so which is widespread, but it doesn't apply to other general types of scams and fraud. But you should always make sure you're reporting fraud. A recent AARP survey found that 9 in 10 Americans 18 and over, so that's 229 million people, encountered some sort of fraud attempt in the past year. 1 in 6, 33 million people lost money as a result, and 1 out of 5 older adults are victims of financial exploitation, with the average victim losing $120,000.
Wow, then this definitely is a very pertinent issue. Is there anything else that we need to know?
I think, again, as we always say, the more you know and the better prepared you are for that next attempt to scam you, the less likely it is to happen. And so stay up to date at the AARP Fraud Watch Network, aarp.org/fraudwatch network. Or again, if you've been a victim of a fraud, call the Fraud Watch helpline toll-free 877-908-3360. And remember, you can be a fraud fighter. If you can spot a scam, you can stop a scam.
Well, thank you so much for all that information, Josh. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, Sophia.
Of course. All right, stick around, everyone. We will be right back after the break.